All right, we're back live with our pre-market post-wave report for trading Sunday night into Monday, October the 9th, 2022. All right, we're going to make this quick. We're going to take a look at what these markets ended the week and get an idea of what we can expect to start the week's trading off on Sunday, which is today. All right, so the euro yen, which is a proxy of the S&P 500, is still showing weakness in a downtrend channel, and the nod is going to go to the bears to start the week off with the top of the Kumo cloud around the 139 level to be the initial target on the pullback. Next up, we have the NASDAQ 100 by the way of the QQQ. And as you can see here, the bulls are in control, even though we're still in a bear market. We've had a bear market rally of sorts, only to have the market collapse down on Friday with a gap. So we created a gap on the way up. Now we have a gap on the way down. So the nod still goes to the bulls, believe it or not. The nod's going to go to the bulls to start things off. I believe that the market is oversold here, and it's going to have to, at minimum, back and fill this gap. So it's going to have to do that at minimum. So right now, I have to say the nod goes to the bulls to defend here. And I think this is exactly what it's going to end up being, is some type of a bear trap, trapping all the shorts here, short in the market, only to have the market perhaps even explode and gap up on the open in about an hour. All right. So be prepared for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, be prepared for that. All right. Next up, you have silver by way of SLV. All right, so it finished the week bearish as well. It's already almost at the top of the Kumo cloud here, but I'm going to say that the psychological support is that $18 an ounce. So if that does not hold, then the market will free fall and run the risk of falling out of the cloud and back down below $17 an ounce. All right, so bears to start the week off on silver. Looking at the S&P 500 by way of the SPY. All right, so this one, just like the NASDAQ, is looking oversold. And the fact that we don't, the bulls still have the edge, believe it or not, even though the market fell the way it did. I think it's oversold. I think it's going to create a bear trap some shorts here, and I think the market runs the risk of exploding higher and gapping up on the open when the futures open tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah, bulls still have the edge there. Looking at the bond market by way of TLT, as you can see here. The bulls were holding things together, but they lost it because we just put in a new 52-week low, ladies and gentlemen, a new 52-week low, and now the bulls, they still have the overall short-term advantage, but now the bias for Monday has flipped to the bears because of this new 52-week low. So you're still in an environment where the bulls could defend here like they did during the last support low that we just broke, but the bulls came in and defended it. I think you'll have the same thing again here, but bonds are under a lot of duress. I think this bear market is showing us that it wants to relock in on the downside. So the bears have the advantage going into this. For Monday, bonds are looking like they could be in a lot of trouble. Looking at the, where is it here? I want to do this one systematically. Let's do the US dollar index. Let's look at the dollar. All right, so here's the US dollar index. And right now, the bears are still in control, even though we've had a technical rout off this pullback support low. The market has now moved back into a neutral to slightly bearish tone to start the week off. All right. So for Sunday night into Monday's trading, we're neutral with a bearish bias. All right. For the US dollar. If you take a look at how that corresponds to the UUP, which is the US dollar ETF, it's identical. It's also switched itself to a neutral position to start the week off. But as you can see here, the bears still have the advantage. The $29 market, which is the top of the Kumo cloud, is still in play for the downside. So we'll be watching that one to see how the market wants to kick things off. Looking at the crypto side of things at ADA Cardano, so it also finished the week off in a bearish tone. We are still below the Kumo cloud, and the bears have the advantage starting the week off. It looks like we're heading to a new leg lower in ADA Cardano. Looking at Litecoin. All right, so Litecoin is also in the bearish market, but the bulls have been keeping an equilibrium in the market, and we're already hanging out at the bottom of the Kumo cloud target area. So if we are going to get some type of rally, it would challenge the bullish pointer from September the 13th. So that would take the Litecoin back above the $65 handle. So for now, believe it or not, the nod is going to go to the bulls to start the week off. I think this market has been building a base for a rally attempt to take out the bullish pointer from September the 13th. Next up is Theta. So looking at Theta, we are in a bear market still. This is looking just like Litecoin. Market's been basing itself out. The only difference is you're nowhere near the overhead objective of the bottom of the Kumo cloud, which is around the the $1.30 mark. Now, this is a little bit different than Litecoin because to start the week off, we give the bias to the bulls, but you're in a neutral position. So just keep that in mind as trading commences at 6 p.m. You're in a neutral zone with a bullish bias, a slight one, okay? Looking at XRP Ripple. All right, so it's also in a bear, has been in a bear market, but to start the week off here, the nod's going to go to the bulls. We are expecting XRP Ripple to rally. I think this market wants to rally and get back above the 65 cent to 70 cent level and even higher. All right, so this one is finally starting to have liftoff. I think the same thing is what Litecoin and Theta are trying to do right now, is to get that liftoff. You know, once you're back above the Kumo cloud, then half the work is already done. So that's what Litecoin and that's what the Theta needs to do to start to look more like the XRP Ripple. All right, moving along here, we have Bitcoin. All right. And as you know, I like to use the futures as a proxy for the Bitcoin itself. And as you can see here, this the Bitcoin is starting off in a neutral position with the bullish bias. It's trying to get something going here as well. The challenge is the bullish pointer back here on September the 13th. And I think that's the upside target that would put Bitcoin back above 23,000. All right, so I think that's the immediate target on this one. That's the lofty goal, but it first needs to get back above the 21,000 level. All right, and then back above the Kumo cloud at 22,000, and then the old resistance at 25. So as it goes, we got to get 21, 22, and 25 in the Bitcoin. So that's the upside target area for Bitcoin. Next up is the Ethereum. So for Ethereum, we have upside target of 1,500, which is the bottom of the Kumo cloud, then 1,650, the top of the Kumo cloud, then back above 1,800 would be ideal. So those are your upside targets to start the week off for the Ethereum, and it's also starting off with a neutral position, but with a bullish bias for Ethereum. All right. Next is the Dow Jones by way of the DIA, or the diamonds. And as you can see here, it's moved into a neutral position too. The Dow is looking more like the NASDAQ 100, the QQQs, because it created a gap on the way down. And I'm thinking that, again, a bear trapping in shorts, and then the market is running a risk of a gap up tonight, and then back and filling the gap down, and then continuing to stage a rally from there. The bias is still going to the bulls, regardless of this wide trading range that's been established from last week. Next up is the gold miners by way of the GDXJ. The nod's going to go to the bears to start the week off, because the market finished on a bearish week with a bearish tone. You see that negative momentum is still in play, and nothing has happened on the chart to abate that. So I think that the 52-week lows are now in play as a downside target on shorts for the gold miners. Next up is gold itself by way of ticker GLD. And it finished the week in a neutral position. We still have a bullish bias in the market. I think the upside goal here, which is the bottom of the Kumo cloud, is $161 a share, followed by the $165 a share, which is the top of the Kumo cloud. So still has a way to go yet, but it's starting the week off in a neutral position with a bullish bias in the market for gold. Next up is the Russell My Hustle by way of ticker IWM. And as you can see, looking like the Dow, it had a gap down on Friday. So this one's going to start off with a neutral tone with a bullish bias. So the stock indexes, that's how they're looking. They all have bullish biases and neutral tones, neutral positions. All right, so very interesting to see how things go as we get closer to the opening bell here. Last but not least is oil. No one really knows what's going on here, or at least so they say. So oil is also starting off in a neutral position. This is by way of ticker OIH. We have this gap down here that needs to be reconciled, but you're starting off neutral, meaning that the market can rally and or collapse, or do both in the same trading session. So definitely watch out. This is a red bar, meaning that it is a crash alert. Last time we had a crash alert was back here on August the 26th. You see the downside production that produced from that. Therefore, it's looking like a short-term top, meaning that oil is having a very tough time staying above the Kumo cloud here, and it's running a risk of downside bias. We were having a bullish bias in the oil market, but that seems to have disappeared now as the bears are starting to influence, starting to short up at these levels. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting one to see which way things go, but I got to give it up to the bears, even though you're more of a neutral position, but you got a crash alert. So the system's picking up some selling intensity starting to creep into the market. Be that as it may, the old support down here at the $198.59 a share, that is the initial downside target on this move. However, because this is happening near the top of the Kumo cloud, the top of the Kumo cloud around the $240 mark is going to be acting as a support area, followed by the bottom of the Kumo cloud around the $230 to $225 level. So these two support zones could hold the market up. So the market's going to have to overcome both these support zones, all right, in order to get down here and take this out and put in a new leg lower. If these two supports do not hold in oil, the downside intensity will be enormous. Uh, I don't want to alarm you if you're long OIH, but this market could drop down below $150 a share. You could shave off $100 from this stock easy if these two supports do not hold. All right. So just want to give you the heads up on that. But of course, you trade what the market gives you. All right, with that being said, smash that like button. You know what it is. If you haven't already taken the challenge, this is a perfect time to do it as the markets have not opened yet. You can go to pulsewavetrading.com. Go ahead and take the 14-day challenge. You can try the PulseWave reports for free for 14 days. Trade alongside us and see how much money you can make during this 14-day trial period. Take the test, prove it to yourself. And with that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'm out. Peace.